Welcome to Fresh Talk News Channel. Today, we dive into a major global development. China is showing no signs of backing down in its escalating trade war with the United States. This comes as new tariffs, championed by President Donald Trump, took effect on Wednesday, targeting nearly all of Washington's major trading partners. Speaking at a government forum in Beijing, Chinese President Xi Jinping emphasized regional cooperation and strengthened diplomatic and trade ties with neighboring countries. Meanwhile, Chinese state media launched a wave of criticism against the U.S. Our country's relations with its neighbors are currently at their best since modern times, President Xi stated, calling for the strengthening of industrial and supply chain cooperation. Though he did not directly mention the United States, Mr. Xi's comments, reported shortly after Mr. Trump's new 104% tariff on Chinese exports went into effect, position Beijing as a steady, pro-globalization alternative to an increasingly unpredictable Washington. In an editorial released Wednesday, the official Xinhua news agency blasted Mr. Trump's latest move, calling it an act that reeks of desperation. If Washington believes that ramping up pressure can compel Beijing to give in, it is engaging in wishful thinking, the editorial stated. The United States is far from immune to the economic wounds of the trade war it has ignited. American markets are already feeling the strain, businesses face growing uncertainties, and the risk of recession is ballooning. Interestingly, markets in China were the only ones in Asia that did not suffer further losses on Wednesday, thanks to state-backed interventions aimed at stabilizing the economy. On Chinese social media, many mocked the U.S. with trending hashtags like, "America is fighting a trade war while begging for eggs." However, there were signs of censorship, as posts referencing the new 104% tariffs were quietly removed, showing the sensitivity surrounding China's fragile economic outlook. China has been bracing for a trade war since President Trump first took office. During his campaign, he repeatedly threatened steep tariffs on Chinese imports. While the situation has escalated faster than expected, Beijing has so far called Washington's bluff, arguing that the U.S. will ultimately suffer more due to its reliance on Chinese manufacturing, much of which can't be easily relocated. Anger erupted in China this week following controversial comments from U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, who referred to Chinese workers as peasants. Beijing condemned the statement, calling it ignorant and disrespectful, and the remark drew widespread criticism internationally. President Trump has floated the idea of moving production of devices like Apple's iPhone to the U.S., a suggestion that contradicts Apple's CEO, who pointed out as early as 2017 that China was no longer a low-wage labor hub. Instead, Apple relies on China for its highly skilled workers and advanced tooling infrastructure. Also on Wednesday, China's Ministry of Commerce released a new white paper titled, U.S. Trade and Economic Ties, signaling its readiness to retaliate against what it calls economic bullying. Possible countermeasures include banning U.S. poultry exports, suspending cooperation on fentanyl, restricting U.S. legal and procurement firms, banning Hollywood films, and launching investigations into U.S. companies for alleged intellectual property violations. Veteran China analyst Bill Bishop commented on the worsening tensions, writing, "I don't remember ever being this pessimistic about the trajectory of U.S.-China relations." He added, "Even if a temporary truce is reached, the damage is done." China's belief that the U.S. seeks to contain and suppress it will only be reinforced. The trade relationship was the linchpin, and as it unravels, expect other areas to suffer too. This breakdown could also hinder Washington's ability to counter Beijing's ambitions in Taiwan. Meanwhile, the united front once led by President Biden against China is weakening. Key allies such as the European Union, Japan, and South Korea are showing increased willingness to engage with Beijing as ties with the U.S. deteriorate. On Tuesday, Chinese Premier Li Qiang held a call with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. During the conversation, she emphasized the joint responsibility of Europe and China, two of the world's largest markets, to uphold a strong, reformed global trading system, one that is free, fair, and based on a level playing field. Thanks for watching Fresh Talk News Channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more news and updates.